Now we move one step closer to the reason you're here, and that's of course for you to get your lot today, for you to move one step closer to owning your own home. I'd like to kick right into the next speaker, and that is the Honorable Susan Rodrigues. She is young, vibrant, always out there, very popular, everyone knows her. Please help me welcome her to the podium.
I hope they can see me. Good morning, Honorable Minister Kroll, Permanent Secretary, CEO, Chairman of the Monroe Reconnaissance NDC, Mr. Ayub Mohammed, Chairman of the CHPA Board, Dr. Emmanuel Cummins, the Secretary to the Board, Mr. Ramgalam, and other board members who are here, members of the media, staff of the Central Housing Planning Authority, Guyana Water Inc., and of course, to the allottees. It's a pleasure for me to be here this morning to commence the first set of allocations for 2023, and as promised a few weeks ago, our first allocation exercise would be on the East Coast. I was at a Victoria outreach led by the Prime Minister just over a week ago, and there were a lot of applicants there who had old applications. We met with them, some of them are here today, and they will receive their allocations today. And to all of you who either reside on the East Coast already or who will be receiving their allocation on the East Coast, I want to urge you to look at the development that took place on the East Bank of Demerara, and then you will understand what is about to take place on the East Coast of Demerara. I know the East Bank has been a very desirable place that has been in very high demand over the last few years. And that is because there was a very effective strategy that was implemented under the leadership of our president when he was minister at the Ministry of Housing. And what he did transformed the lives of our low-income population when he placed them in what was then the back. But then now with the construction of the 4-lane highway, they are now situated in the front from another angle, which gave them the opportunity to, as the CEO said, double, triple, quadruple their net worth. And that is perhaps the most impactful thing that we can do through our housing program for our low-income earners. And so the development that will take place on the East Coast is no different. I know it's very hard for you to visualize the positioning of some of these schemes, but the CEO attempted to give you some perspective a few moments ago. And that is that all of the schemes on the East Coast are leading in a direction towards the East Bank. And you will eventually be connecting to the Aubrey Barker Road link that will come all the way to the East Coast. So there is no one entry and exit to the East Coast any longer. We're developing a very complex network of highways and roads, and you will see a whole different community being developed along the East Coast, linking to the East Bank, and we may have to probably decide where the East Bank ends and where the East Coast begins, because it will be all integrated into one big city. And so it will be marvelous to see, and I'm very honored to have the opportunity to be a part of this process and to witness this transformation from the beginning, from where we are now in the infancy stage of transforming the East Coast and putting in the infrastructure work there, so that you can very soon be able to construct your homes and to take full use of the opportunity. We are looking to develop in this year around 3,000 lots on the East Coast corridor, but today we are targeting about 1,500 just because it's practical to do in one day. And so far on the East Coast from 2020 to 2023, we have already allocated 5,900 lots here on the East Coast. We have infrastructure work to the tune of $24.2 billion that is ongoing from 2020 to now. That's the amount of money that we have already invested into the East Coast. And we have infrastructure work going on right now in the Reconnaissance, Nonpareil, Bladen Hall, Vigilance, Annandale, Monrepo, Strathspey, Diengraft. This is just to name a few. And if you have time, and sometimes I go into these communities on a Sunday, just driving around, not as the minister, but driving around very discreetly to see what's taking place. And it's always very pleasing to see in communities, families, husband and wife and their children going to visit their lots, or going to clean or check on the rate of the infrastructure work, and they make it a family trip on a Sunday. They go and they constantly check on the contractors, and that is very good, and I encourage you to do that, to go into the communities, to try to see where you're located and to keep checking on the works. That's good because it'll help people, it'll help the contractors to go even faster, because many times we have to remind them that people are waiting on them and that the work that they do as well is equally as important. I don't intend to speak for long this morning, but I want to take this opportunity just to thank the staff of CHPA, the Ministry of Housing and Water. A lot of what they do is not visible. You don't see the amount of work that goes in to coming to this point of where we can actually make these allocations. The surveyors, the planners, all of the heads of department, the projects department that has to implement these infrastructure works. They work tremendously hard. They go beyond the call of service and duty. Up to late last night, they were working, preparing chits for today. They work very, very hard, and I want to commend them and thank them for their dedication and commitment to our housing program. I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your acquisition today, that you are now on the precipice of the transformation that will take place in your own personal development and in the increase in your net worth. And we have a lot of media here today, and I want to urge the members of the media to pay attention, to look around here, and to look at the faces looking back at me. And you'll see the faces of Guyanese. Guyanese from all walks of life, all income categories, all races, all religions, different political affiliations, and that is what our housing program is about. We take a lot of criticism sometimes, and all of it is unnecessary, and all of it is unfair. Because when you look at our events, and that's why we make them very public, so that everybody can see Guyanese people, not one ethnicity or not from one sector of our country, but Guyanese people receiving their house lots and given the opportunity to transform their lives, to develop their own lives. But more importantly, what you're receiving today is far more than a house lot. You are receiving empowerment. You are being given the opportunity to have financial freedom, to own your own home, to become a homeowner, which gives you access to finance, gives you unlimited power. You now have that opportunity in your hands to make the most of it. And so I want to wish you all the very best. I want to say Happy Easter, because we are in Holy Week. And I can say that this is perhaps your Easter gift. So a very happy Easter to you. May we all have a good day today, very productive day. God bless you and your family. Thank you.